This training video, we're going to cover some advanced support functions, both in Atom and in Drake. So things you may not know. So this is kind of intended for anyone that wants to know just a little bit more. The more you know, the more you can help, the more beneficial you are to X-Tax. So one here, tax returns, signature docs, e-sign, payment vouchers. So in Drake, how do you PDF docs? And the reason that's important, kind of more for the people at that service window, because a lot of things change. So the tax return might be completed, and then the client throws us a curveball, and then we have to make a change. If you guys are able to do that up there at the window, then we don't have to get a preparer involved, and they could be busy doing tax returns. Obviously, if they're not busy, it's not a big deal, but little changes like that, if you know a little bit about Drake and a little bit about Atom, can make things run smooth, which could be, otherwise it could just clog everything up. So that's kind of what this video is intended to do. So how do you PDF docs in Drake? First, you have to log into Drake, and I'm going to move this, see if I can move this, swap spots here. I'm going to move this over this screen, and then I got Drake here. So first you got to log in. So if you have a login, use your login. If you don't have a login, just go under what the students have been using, not a big deal. So that is just X-Tax, lower or uppercase. And then, and you obviously have to have, on your workstation, you have to have a Drake workstation. Otherwise you can't get into Drake. So like a Verito workstation. And then the password is basic-1040 with a question mark. All right, and then we log in. Okay, here's Drake, and then I'm going to go ahead and just go find this dummy client of mine, Betty here. All right, so how do you PDF a document? So if I view this return, just hit view. Oh, I shouldn't go too quickly because you guys don't know. You're not tax preparers. So I got into a file, and now when I click view or print, that pulls this screen up. Then I hit continue. And go to your sets tab. Okay, so the very top one is my signature set. So I'm gonna, how do I PDF, print docs, printer set. Okay, how to upload, print doc. So I'm gonna go down here, say I want to just PDF a tax return. So typically what we use is, let me make this a little bigger, is we use the preparer set to PDF. So if I check this box, or if I were to come up here and I want to do, just say I want to do a Form 8879 or transaction. I guess if you're going to have to know a little bit about the tax return, but it's typically the documents that you have them sign at the window. That might be, maybe the client calls and says, hey, I want to e-sign instead of come to the office. So you basically would then check the boxes here, like 8879, the result letter. So this is everything you have on paper right now, and now you're just going to turn it into a PDF document so they can e-sign. And then give them the copy. The tax return they should already have in here, but I'll do this anyway. So then I hit print. Now you're probably going to get this box to pop up here. So you see Cute PDF Writer. We don't want that. So it defaults to that. You're going to select the drop down, and you want Drake PDF Printer. So signature, signatures. Then I want my preparer set. Here's my preparer set right here. I'm going to switch that to the Drake PDF Printer. Then I'm going to hit print. And now it's going to try to pop up and go save it somewhere. This is where you have to be careful, and I think we have a video on this, but you want to have it go on your C drive to your designated folder. So sometimes that can be tricky because sometimes Verito wants to send it to their server, which is a remote server. So you have to click on this PC if it's not defaulting to your workstation in your folder already. And then I'm going to go to my C drive on my computer, and I have what I'm looking for is workstation 106 folder. Click it again. So now I open up all these PDF documents I have stored on my C drive that I need to get rid of before the tax season starts. But That's what it's going through this long list right here. So if yours is doing the same thing, you need to clean this up and just delete everything out of it, and we can help you with that. Now you hit save. So the first thing it's going to do is it's going to PDF these signature docs, and then it's going to then go and then PDF the tax return. So now it wants to do the tax return. So now it pops this up here. This is the PDF of the signature docs that it's showing me. Now it wants to do the tax return right here. Same thing. So it's a two-step process if you're doing signature documents and tax return. And now I'm going to save it as soon as it stops flickering. Okay, and it's probably going to pop up a PDF again. And I'm going to show you how to get rid of this in a minute. So this, I don't need to see this pop up every time. And again, this is another video of mine. It's just one more step I have to deal with. I mean, I already know it went to my folder and everything, so I'm going to close this. So now I've done what I needed to do. Again, it's the signature set and the preparer set. That's what we are going to upload. So now I'm going to escape. And before I upload this, I want to show you a printer setting that I want everybody to do on whatever workstation you work on. So when you hit escape again, now go to setup, go to printing, printers, then you're going to go to the F8 tab right here, go down here and select Drake PDF printer. And I know this isn't another video, but it's important. You're going to uncheck the box, select update, hit OK. Now you won't have that PDF pop up. Next, you're going to go to your sets tab. And because we're always using the preparer set for what I PDF to give to the client, so I don't want it to say preparer copy. I want it to say client copy. And you're probably saying like, well, why don't we just use the client copy set? And that's a good question. But the preparer, when the client's sitting in front of you, you want to give them a paper copy and you want to PDF a copy and upload that so they can access it anywhere. So the paper copy, we always use the client set and hand it to them in its watermark client copy. And then the preparer copy, I have to come in here and change it to client copy because I don't really want them to see on the portal it says preparer copy because they're going to get confused, like, why am I looking at your copy? I want my copy, the client copy, right? So this is how we fix that little issue. So it's still going to say preparer in the sets in Drake, but what actually shows up, what the client sees is going to say client copy. So you need to do this on every workstation that you get on when you log in under your user. Save it. Now that's set. I never have to do it again on this workstation and this user. All right, now I'm going to upload it because I think that's what I needed to do. How to print docs, printer setup. We did that. How to upload PDF docs into Atom. Minimize this. I'm going to go into Betty's file. So I'm going to search Bing, Betty, and now here's her tax prep. I can quickly go right into the account docs from here if I click on this icon. And then from here, you're just going to hit Add, Browse, and you're going to go to your C drive, or my C drive in this case, Workstation 106, so whatever yours folder is on yours. Here's my tax return. Select tax return. And you wonder why it says this in the description is because on the portal, the description is displaying, so it makes it helpful. That's why it says tax return. I like that in here because this shows on the portal. When I save it, now they got an email and a text sent to them saying log into the portal so you can see your tax return. Next, I'm going to do my signature documents. Again, I just hit Add, Browse, and am I jumping ahead? I'm going to go ahead. I know I'm jumping ahead, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make this an e-sign because that's what they like to do. Sometimes they switch it up on you. So in that case, I'm going to select, just bypass right over here and come down here, and then you're going to say e-sign Form 8879 taxpayer. It's going to check that box, e-sign client. And again, they're going to get the email and text giving them instructions on what to do. You save it. Oh, now it's telling me, oh, you can't do that because you don't have the zip code, birth date, and access code. So I'm going to close this. Wish I had that. Now I'm going to go into my contact information. And this is going to help. So for PIN, I'm going to always make that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if anyone ever calls and says, hey, I just got locked out, because they get 3 chances to e-sign, someone gets locked out, you have to reset their PIN so they can try it all over again. But when you're resetting their PIN, you probably should confirm, do we have your zip code correct? Is your birth date correct? Because it's doing a validation on all those, doing their social, their zip code, their birth date, and the PIN. Doesn't care what their name is, but those all have to match. So if they didn't match the first time, it's probably because we don't have something in here correct. They may have moved and we didn't update it in Adam. So I'm going to go ahead and put their where is their zip code? So I'll just say 48917. Okay, and then their birth date, 02/03, 1966, and I'm going to save it. And now I'm going to go back into my account docs, and we're going to try it again. Add, browse, signature docs, e-sign, and now I'm going to save it. And now I'm good to go. And again, as I said in the other video, got the X there, meaning we're waiting an e-signature. Over here, waiting an e-signature, so it's easily identifiable. And that is how you PDF a return, how do you PDF signature docs, how you set up for e-sign, and how you upload everything, and how you do your printer setup. So that is what we wanted to do. I just covered all that. Next, Drake data entry changes. So a lot of times they will say, oh, I've just moved or something like that. I changed my phone number or something like that. You might want to get the preparer involved if it's too tricky, but I will show you some quick. A lot of times they'll do their account number. Like maybe they didn't give the preparer their account number. Now they want to give it to you. So as long as you know what you're doing, I'm comfortable with you doing it. If you don't know what you're doing, tell them they have to wait, and they have to wait to get to a preparer. Okay, we do not want to mess this up. So I know you want to help, but if you don't feel comfortable doing it, do not do it. I'd rather have them wait and get angry than make a mistake and they wait months before they get their refund, because if you mess up the direct deposit, and I have to refund them their money. So we don't get paid, they're an angry client, and we just lost them and they'll probably never come back again. So bottom line is, if I'm trying to show you this so you can do it and help, but if you're like, this is over my head, I'm fine with that. But then you just need to go get help. All right, so address changes. I'm going to move this back over here. I'm going to pull up Drake again, go back into Betty's file. So name and address, if they were just change their phone number, I can come right in here, 517-323-4566. Now I can change it in Adam too, but just so you know, if you change it in Adam, and then once we e-file that return, it's going to take whatever in Drake, assuming Drake is always correct, and it's going to go right over the top. So if the return hasn't been e-filed yet, and you change it in Adam, just so you know, it's going to override with whatever's in Drake over the top. So that means if you got the bad phone number in Drake, we're never going to be able to contact them because it's just going to go right over the top and update it automatically. So that's the phone number. Again, you got daytime, evening, and this is all in, and sometimes I do this too quick because I'm so used to being in Drake. So I get my name and address, screen 1. And then here's their address. If they were to change this, say, no, I'm at 117 Creston Avenue. And again, you have to be pretty well versed in in Drake before you're going to change an address, because now once you change this, then if they want a new copy, because now their address changed, again, then you would print a copy. And actually I didn't show you how to print it. I'll show you how to print too. I showed you how to PDF, and I guess I didn't show you how to print. I'll show you how to print right now. But anyway, this is what you'd want to do, but you don't want to make a mistake, because again, we don't want to make the client unhappy. And these are very, I mean, if you know what you're doing and you've been doing taxes and you're prepared, this is a very simple change. But if it's a support side, which you don't do taxes, this, it may be a little more challenging. So again, this is advanced support. If you want to learn more and you feel like you can handle it, I'm good to go. If not, I'm good with that too. All right, so we escape out of here. Just hit escape in Drake. All right, and now direct deposit. I'm going to show first the print so I don't forget. So I'm going to hit view, and I hit continue. And if I'm printing it, again, I'm going to go to my sets tab right here and client. So this is using my paper copy. So I just check this box. Again, I hit print. And again, it's going to probably default to the PDF writer until you set it. Once you set it, then you won't have to do it again, most likely, unless the computer does a reset. So now you're just going to send it to whatever printer you use, and then you hit print, and then you will get a paper copy of the return. And I know I might be repeating myself because I think we do have some videos that cover this, but nothing wrong with that. Direct deposit. So right in here under electronic filing and banking, this is where the direct deposit. So this is where you're probably going to do more of these than an address change. And this is pretty straightforward. DD for direct deposit. So if the client doesn't have anything set up, like if they said, oh, I'm going to bring the, I'll bring the direct deposit with me when I sign, then you'd go into this screen, enter the bank name right here under federal. If it's a bank product, then your federal is going to run through the bank, if we're getting paid through the bank. If it's not and they have a refund, then you'd say yes. And you probably get an error message if you try to do yes to direct deposit here and you're trying to do a bank product, because then you're trying to tell Drake to do two different things. Anyway, so they are set up for bank products. So I'm going to hit no here. This is just going to say it's going to be all eligible state and city. So I'm sure they want direct deposit of everything that they're getting a refund. So you'd select A. That'll cover all state, all city. And then from here, you just enter the routing number that they're going to give you. You do it twice to make sure you did it correctly. Same with account number, enter it in twice, and then you got to pick checking or savings. And then you escape to get out. And just so whenever you make any change in Drake, you always have to hit the view to calculate it. And then it sets it, and then that's the version that will be e-filed. So you always have to do that. And escape again. That's how you get back to where you were. Always that takes you one step back is escape button. Let's say they're going to do, let's print a voucher. I'm going to view this. So let's say that you just have to print a payment voucher for them. So they want a payment voucher is something that's how the client gets the money to the IRS, the state, the city. In this case, they owe the city of Lansing. So when I click on sets, the vouchers are all defaulted to show up in the signature set. Now I know there's a lot of documents here because it's a bank product. So there it is right there, PV. That means payment voucher. See, if I hover over it, it says Lansing 1040 payment voucher. So I would just check this box. Now you're saying, well, Mark, it's in the signature set. How do you just told me that I'm PDF in the signature set. Well, you can switch that. So when I hit print, it's defaulting because the last time I did this, I said Drake PDF printer, but I can just select whatever printer I want. And so now it's going to go to a paper copy to a printer. So it's very easy. If you got a PDF, it's this. If it's a printing, then you just send it to whatever printer you're in. Now I'm going to PDF this thing because I forgot to show you there's another thing. Sometimes the client wants a payment voucher. So I like to do this. So it's going to default the name to signature docs, but that doesn't tell the client, that's not a good description to the client because they're like, signature doc, I'm not signing the payment voucher. So you would then delete this. I mean, this just makes it nicer for the client. And then I say payment voucher, and I could even do LN if I want. Okay, then I save it. And again, it's going to go off and it's going to, if you watch now, I won't get that PDF pop-up because I told it not to do it. See, it automatically just went right in my folder. So now I'm going to minimize this, and now I'm going to come in here. Now I'm in Atom. I'm going to hit Add, Browse, and I'm going to put the payment voucher out there for them. So I have an upload type actually called payment voucher. And then I could say Lansing if I want to. And then when I save it, again, they're going to get an email and a text, and it's actually going to have information about the payment voucher in there. Then I just, I have to make sure I have it. Oh yeah, full access. So this is where the client access right here. So I have it defaulted certain documents will automatically have full. That means the client can see this on the portal. If I switch to no access, that means they can't see it. If I have limited access, that means they can see it when they pay me, when their balance is 0. Okay, normally we've been just using full access, hit save, And now it's out there, and you see here, that's what these are highlighted in green, meaning they have access to this on the portal. That's what that means. All right, so that's how we do the payment voucher. I meant to show you that earlier. Let me go back into Drake, do some more playing around in here. Let's say they're like, you know what? I don't want to deal with that little city of Lansing. Just take it out of my bank account, set up direct debit. And then this is something you guys should know at the window too, because you're, obviously every preparer should know this. I'm assuming my preparers know all this stuff. But the window support staff, you're dealing with the client. So if they have a balance due, I mean, if they bring it to your attention, or it all depends on how much you know about taxes. But say, would you rather have that come out of your account, or do you actually want to mail a check in? I'd say if you give them the option, at least probably 80% of the people will say, and it depends on their age. If the younger they are, they say, take it out of my account. The older they are, I'd say it's probably maybe 70% would say, still take it out of my account. And then there's 30% that say, no, I want to mail a check in. But we want to do what makes it easier for the client. So direct debit, I think, is easier for the client. All right. So you just have to come in here under the PMT screen and then select this. And again, it's going to say, do I want the federal or state? In this case, they're getting a refund on the federal. So I say no to the feds. I'd select Chase Bank. That's just, it all depends on who their bank is. Enter their routing number, enter their account number, checking, and I'm going to do it twice. Checking, and then I'm going to say, I'm going to put an A. So any state or city that they have a balance due, it's going to take whatever it is. And then they want to have a date. Now this one is strictly for federal. So in this case, I'm going to hit F4 to get rid of my flag. So F2 puts a flag, F4 gets rid of your flag. And down here under state, this is where if you want to make an actual requested date. So if they don't want to pay like today or in a couple days, and you want to do it at the end, like, you know, you can default whatever date you want. So you'd have to ask them, when do you want to pay? Now city, unless they made a change, they're just going to take it as soon as they file this return and go. The IRS and I believe Michigan will default to the last due date, so April, whatever it is, April 16th this year. But you can override it right here. And then state, you know, it says state, but it's also state and city. But I don't think we have an option for Lansing. I think they're just going to take the money when they're ready to take the money. So it'll be right away. But you want to let them know that, because I mean, normally city, they don't owe a whole lot of money, but let them know because they need to make sure they have the money in their account. So it is kind of important. They know the date it's going to get pulled, and it'll show it when we view this return. So when I view this return, so now I shouldn't have a payment voucher anymore. I go to my sets. Yep, the payment voucher's gone. I go to my transaction information, and then there it is right there, Lansing debit 220, and it's going January 7th. So I can't control the date on the Lansing. One more thing for payment vouchers, if it's a federal one, then you go to this PIN screen. This is their PIN signature, and you would have to check the box direct debit consent. Only for federal. State and city, you don't have to check this box. Drake will give you an error message, so you'll be able to clean it up. It'll tell you what you need to do. And that's another thing. If you're making changes and you see red X's, go get help. Okay, don't push it through to the reviewer. If there's red X's, that means there's something wrong and we need to get it fixed, especially if the client's still here, because we might need to ask them a question. So you want to see green checks here when you're playing around in Drake. What else do we have? Let me see what else I wanted to show you. Direct debits, direct deposit, address, phone number, bank product changes. Okay, here we go. So if I come back in here, this is the bank screen, EPS, product information. So if I do Alt B is the macro to, if I do Alt B from here, it loads up the bank information, but I still have to pick. So, and you want to make sure you know what you're doing here, because if you do the wrong thing here, this could really be an angry client. But I'm going to show you how it works. So it all depends on how much you guys know. Refund advance with RT. So refund advance, you guys should know what that is. That means they want money now. With RT, that's just refund transfer. This is right here, apply for pre-ac advance. So anything that's happening prior to the e-file date, which this year is January 18th, and I mean, I'll let everybody know when we can stop checking this box. but that's, if you got to check that box, otherwise they're not going to get their money right now. So it's a very important box. And then if they're direct deposit, I need to have that box checked. This is where you fill in their account information here. So if they're changing their bank info and their bank product, you need to come in here, change it here, and you come in here. So this would be for federal. Most likely they won't do state. And then this would be for your state and city. So it's a two-step process usually for direct deposit. I come back in my EPS screen. So this would be set up for a refund advance and then like a RTD for the remainder. If they say, no, I don't want to do direct deposit here, then I would uncheck this box. Let's get this out of here. Delete this out. Checking. And then say, no, I just want you to print a check in the office. So I'd hit the box here, check printed in tax office, good to go with that. They say, no, I want to do a prepaid card. To do a prepaid card, you check this box, then you go to the file cabinet, you grab the card out of the envelope. I mean, you don't open up the envelope. You take the envelope out that has the prepaid Visa card, and there's some numbers on there. This is where you're going to enter the numbers in here, and then I think it says you want to send a text. And so I'm sure we want them to get a text saying that it's been loaded on the card. You enter it in here, the number that's on the envelope twice, and then you select activate card. Then that goes off to EPS, and then it comes back within seconds saying that you did what you're supposed, the numbers all match up and everything's good to go. You have to do that. And then that would be the card, got the check, and then direct deposit. So those are the three options you have. Let's just say, they're like, no, I don't want to do a refund advance. That's way too expensive. All right. Or if they say, oh, I didn't fill this one out. This would be, obviously, F means full amount. That means they're trying to go for the gold all the way to the 6,000 or as much as they can get. The L means no cost refund advance. That means it's running from $250 to $1,000 and there's no additional fees. I mean, there's our normal $84 fees, but there's nothing else after that. There's no interest charges. So that's what this is right here. But they say, no, I don't even want to do that. I just want to do an RT and check in the office. So RT would be like an RTC. You know, obviously we're not filling in anything here. You don't have to hit pre-act because it's not a refund advance. Uncheck this, come down here and check the box there. So this is that refund options page that you guys should know very well how it works, refund advances, or just take the fees out. That's all that stuff is right here on this screen. So this is how you fill this out and it matches. Again, and unless you're comfortable with it, don't do it. But I just wanted to show you. All right, I escape here and let's see if I got another thing. That's covered that. Pre-act, yep. So post-act, that just means, once the IRS starts accepting, then we don't have to check that box anymore. Add-em changes, client portal reset, e-sign issues, I went over that already. E-sign setup, we talked about that. Client portal reset, they're gonna call and say, hey, reset my password. So I gotta get in Add-em now. So where I do that, I go to my contact information. So for some reason they can't get in, they can't log in. Right down here is the password. And what I like to just say is 1040, like the tax return. And I come up here and I hit save, gotta save it. And now they can make, I think it's 3 more attempts before they get kicked out again. Now they can reset their own password as long as we have the email and cell phone in there correct. They can, when they're at the login site on the portal, they can select reset password and they will get a temporary password automatically. They don't have to bother us. But a lot of times they just call us. Anyway, that's how you would do it. That's how you reset the password. Scroll down here, number 4, print client docs out of Add-em. Oh, these are my these are like your green refund options, for when the client comes and grabs, when they sit in the lobby or whatever they're doing, the client info sheet, self-employed, just so you guys know where those are. If you're helping print those and stocking those, that would be if I go to my home page and I'm going to change my business type to office information. And right under here under docs, they're under client docs, worksheet, checklist. So I click on this and I made it easy for you. So the ones that are highlighted in yellow, this is my rental income expenses. You guys probably won't use that. That's like for preparers. Client info sheet, refund options, self-employment form. So if I go to if I select this little folder, brings me in here. I just go ahead and open this up. You know, it's going to be the PDF, however your computer does it. And of course, then you go ahead and print. And we're printing on yellow paper, and it's two-sided, so you gotta make sure you're at the right kind of printer, or you flip it over. But that's what we want to do. We don't want to make photocopies of these sheets because eventually they just get faded out. So just go in, and this is where you'd go to print. So that's, you know, that's usually going to be probably the greeter will take care of that, or the window people. So just if you see it low, that's how you can find that stuff. And you can always make these to make it even easier for you. If you go into account information inside the file, and I think this is where I do it. Yep, if you come right here and hit mark as a favorite, and then you save it, and now whenever you just do a search and you go to your favorites, there I'd have client info sheet, and I just click in here, then I go to my account docs, and then there it is. So that's even to make it even easier. So anytime you want to make anything a favorite to get to it quickly, that's how you do it. What else do we have on here? So those are my step 4. Step 5, check refund status inside of Atom and EPS Financials. So from here, if I were to go back to my Betty Bing, I'll go to Recents, and there she is. And then you're going to go into, I don't have any EF data in here, but if I click on EF data, normally you'd have an A here for accepted. And then right in here, over here, this link, so you're going to have a lot of e-file information here. You'll have something up here saying it was accepted and what kind of refund, how they're expecting it to be delivered. But if you got to go off to the IRS site, where's my refund, or the state site, you just click on this link here. Here's your federal 1040 status, 1040X, and state status. When I just click on this link, it's going to go off to the IRS website, which I haven't been here lately. See what it's changed. So it wants to enter the social, pick the year. So they did make some changes to this, the filing status, and the refund amount, and then you hit submit. So all that information, it's all going to be right in here. So state has their own. Let's see where state goes. If I hit state status, and you can practice this on some client files to get used to it. And then here, yes, I want to continue. And I want to go, where's my refund for the state? And this is the information they need, but we have all that information. Normally I just drag this over to the other screen, and then I enter the information and try to help the client. So you'll get those calls later once we start e-filing. And then you could also check on their 1040 Act, their amendments also if you needed to. Since I'm in here, I want to point one at, so if you're looking in here to try to get the latest EF status inside of Atom, you can just click this box, Drake EF data, individual import, and hit this. That'll load it. And if there's anything that's out there for this client, so say your client's calling and saying, hey, I'm just checking to see if if my refund advance was approved or not. If you come in here and it doesn't look like anything's been updated, just click this box, and maybe we haven't moved it to the appropriate event yet. But if you see, oh, it looks like it's ready, we can print a check, then go grab somebody and say, hey, we need to print a check for this client. But you can get the latest. So don't trust what's sitting in here. We may not have hit the import button on the home page, which I'll show you where that is too. Let's do that too. That's not on my handout here, but this is for individual import to pull in the EF status. If I go to my home page, and you guys can do this, I mean, I don't care, it doesn't hurt anything. Over here under EF data, and you hit Drake Global, and I hit, again, it looks exactly the same. This is doing it for all the clients, all right? So it's a big update and back. But if you're inside the file, you can just do it just for that individual client. All right, what do we have next here on my handout? Oh, EPS Financial. So if you were to go to in the website EPS Financial, and I should probably put a link, it's epsfinancial.net is what the link is. And then I guess I already had it logged in. So the login, I can get you the login to get in. It's just under, I think it's going to be under, we only have one login. It's under my name, which is fine. But the home, if you need to, I'm not going to pull anyone up because it's going to show their name, and I don't want to put this on a video. But you just click on search applications and type the person's name. It'll pop up, and you can get more information. So if the client's calling to see if their refund advance has been approved, if it says it's, and Atom's pretty good at showing if it's approved, but we don't know that it's not passing the dollar amount really quick into Atom. It usually takes another 24 hours to get that into Atom. So if you need to go in and check quickly, you come in here, do a search, look it up, and it'll actually show how much they got approved for. And you can get other information in here too, but that's what we do a lot. Close this. Next is client portal stuff, send email, text with login link. Okay, sometimes a client will call in and say, hey, I need to log into the portal. I don't have the link. I know you can get it on the website and all that, but if you're in their file, it's very easy to do. Bing. So I'm in Betty's file. Of course, right away, I'm just gonna go ahead and preset contact info, their password to 1040, because the email that goes out automatically and the text, that's what it has set up as a predefined. So now I can do an email right from here. I can hit quick, or I could hit an email from here or a text by going to this page, or I can do it for my quick actions. Let's just say it's email, add an email. And I come down here to my predefined message and I say client portal instructions. So it's going to say, Dear Betty, click here to log into to our secure client portal. Password is 1040. So you can log in with your social security number or email address. All right, and then of course I hit send. So it's a quick way to get that to them with the link, as opposed to them having to go to the website, because this is, again, we want to make everything as simple as possible for the client. So if this is simpler, then just do it. It's easy for us. It only takes a second. Close this. All right, last thing, set up a new client so they can send us their tax docs online. So they haven't even come in the office. I've never seen their face. They're filing with me and they're all doing it online from whatever state they're in. I have no idea. Normally it would be one of our current clients referred them. That's why they're coming to us. All right. Otherwise, if they're not, then I'd question, why are you coming to X-Tax in Lansing, Michigan when, say, you're in California? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. So then you got to get suspicious. Why would you come? It doesn't make a difference for us, but it doesn't make any sense. It seemed like you'd want to go local. But anyway, we can do a tax return anywhere in the country or in the world, honestly. But I mean, as long as it's a U.S. tax return, I'm not dealing with another country's taxes. But what they'll do is, or even if they call you, what you want them to do, if they call you on the phone, we need to have information on them so we have to set them up a file. So the easiest way to do that is they go onto our website, or actually I might have the easiest way is to go on I don't think I have a link to this page, but I could get one if we end up, I don't know if people call us. They usually just do it online from what I know. So if they were to go to our website, and this is what our website looks like as of now, but we are updating it. So if they come in here and just hit ask question, they fill this out. So that's going to give me the information I need to set up an account for them. They fill out their name, phone number, time zone. How can we help you? And they're going to say, I'm a new client. I want to upload my tax docs. So that just tells me what they want. And then obviously we ask how they heard about it. They're going to send this. It's going to go right to us on the home page. So this is from our website. They click on this link. Then on our home page, we see it comes in as a prospect message because they're not a client yet. So I click on this. Oh, Tom Izzo here. Let's see what's Tom Izzo saying. I know he's got a game later today. So he says, I'm a new client. I want to upload my tax docs. So that means the only way he can do it is I got to set him up as a client. I know he's not a real client yet, but I guess I got to do that so he can he's got to be in Adam before he can send docs to Adam inside Adam. So he's internet. I read his message. Hey, I want to prepare my taxes this year because I heard how great you guys are and you're Sparty fans. I'm busy with my job, so I need to do everything online. Can I send my tax docs to you? Tom, yes, you can. So how do we do that? It's very simple, actually. I mean, it's a couple steps, but it's quick. So from here, I just hit add new client because he's got to be in Adam before he can upload documents through Adam. So I hit, and then what I do here, business type tax prep, count user. I guess I'm probably going to say not assigned because nobody's doing return yet. And it's going to say, oh, looks like I got to update this. Now waiting. So I hit, this would be prepared. Now, that's the default. That's like our lobby. So you want to make sure you check. If you uncheck this box when you add a client, they're now in limbo land. Okay, they're nowhere on the home page, and we never want that to happen. They always have to be somewhere on the home page. So never uncheck this box. I know he's not going to be here to actually get his taxes done like right now, but that's the starting point, and then we move it out of there. So I hit add new contact. So now I'm in here. If you notice, it takes his phone number and defaults it to the access code, which usually is their social, but they're probably not going to give their social right now because they're not a client yet, and I don't really want to ask them for their social. So this is where the tax preparer, once they send all their tax docs and we move it to the next stage, either the person who's tracking the docs coming in through the portal will see this and they need to update it and put their social in here once we have the social, because you definitely don't want the phone number to be in here the whole way through. So we'll have their email, we'll have this. I guess it's defaulting to the data phone. So we're going to communicate with them via email right here. So then I'm just going to go ahead and save this. All right, now it's defaults into prepare now waiting. Now I'm going to go down here to my prospect. No, I have to first, I got a password 1040. That's our generic password, always temporary password. Save that. Now he can log in because he's going to use his email address and the password. That's going to get him in, and he can then upload the docs to us. So now he's got a portal site all set up for him. So then I go here to my prospect message to reply. I got to reply back to Tom. So I hit view, and now I'm going to hit reply. And I have a predefined all set in here. So it says client portal instructions right here. So it says, please upload your tax documents here. And this is going to be a hyperlink. If you're not a new client, also upload your ID. So we're not going to be able, so they want to log in with their email address, password 1040. We also have the client information sheet here that we want them to upload to us too. So from here, I just go ahead and I hit send. And now I'm done. I'm done with that part. I got to get out of now waiting because now someone's going to try to grab this thing, right? So then I come back to my events, and then I select add event, and now I'm going to move this to pending client because we're waiting on the client to send us their tax doc. So pending client, and maybe I'll make a predefined. Oh, so it wants me to fill out some information, so I got to enter difficulty. They're new. I don't know how difficult it is yet. Referral type was internet, so I'm good there. And then now I'm going to pending client. I'm going to come up here and make a note. And so let's just say waiting for client to upload docs. They are new and want to do everything through the portal. I'll probably do a predefined on this, a predefined note, make it easier. Okay, upload through the portal. When they do change access code to SSN from their phone number. Okay, so this is a note to whoever's going to handle this. And I hit save, and then that's it. That takes care of it. So that's how you handle. That's how you handle a new client, a prospect. Basically, they send us your tax docs, and then we'll work on it once they send it to us. So they'll get it. If they forget to send us their tax docs, we got it in pending client. So then I think like 20 days from now, they'll get another email reminding them to send us their tax docs. So that's how you add the new client, send the email. Actually, we wouldn't send the text because I can't assume that that's their cell phone. It probably is, but anyway, it's not defaulting to the cell phone. Change event to pending client. Okay, so I know I gave you a lot of information. So this is like advanced support functions. If you feel you want to try to tackle this, I just wanted to, this is like the common things that would happen at the window that you typically would have a preparer help you with. And that is it for now. Thank you.